Saturday, everyone. This is Tasia from Chiron Divine Readings, and this weekend I have a weekend remedy video for you. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited because, to be honest, this is probably my favorite mini reading that I do. So I'm always excited to see, the different messages that come out in terms of how to best take care of ourselves because, I feel like each time it's something very unique and different. And so I feel like this time will be no different, right? And so with that said, let's go ahead and just take a deep breath before we select the pile that is speaking to us. So let's take an inhale with me. You ready? Let's go. All right, now exhale. Excellent. Okay, so over here we have pile number 1, pile number 2 here in the middle, and then pile number 3 over here. And then if you look down in the description box, you will see the timestamp for your reading. I'll see you over there. All right, welcome in pile number 1. This is your reading. So let's start with our self-care cards over here. So the first card is clear your energy field. Okay, so doing some like saging, maybe using some like Saliopanto or some incense, just sort of doing something to clear your energetic field. Okay. Soak in a bath. Yes. I can certainly relate to that. And last but not least, create art. Okay, so what I am getting here for you, pile number 1, is that some of you maybe have been experiencing some kind of like energetic block, something that's maybe blocking your creativity. Maybe you sort of haven't been like feeling like yourself lately, especially in terms of expressing yourself. And so whether that be through like, art as in like painting and drawing, as well as in like writing, what I'm feeling is that there's just sort of this need to, one, sort of clear the energy around you, but also take a moment to relax. And so what I would recommend doing is actually going in reverse order. So starting with the bath over here, just sort of cleansing your physical body, doing some kind of like spiritual bath, I feel like will best serve you. Break out the candles and all of the herbs and the salts, whatever it is that you need, just sort of using that as an opportunity to do some cleansing, and big emphasis on the salt. Like that's really standing out for me right now. So adding some like Epsom salt or something to sort of help cleanse your body, and then doing an energetic cleanse as soon as you get out of the tub. So like wrap yourself up in a towel, grab your sage, and just sort of, move around your body, starting with your feet, your root chakras, and then work your way up to your crown, just so that you can sort of get that energy out of you, away from you, and, sort of have this sense of like reset or renewal. And I feel like doing so will help with removing whatever block you may be experiencing. And so once you take the time to do these first things, then, break out the notebook, break out the sketch pad, the canvas, whatever it is that that you use to create art, and just see what happens. I feel like you will notice a difference when you do. Okay. All right. So in terms of some reflecting, I have 2 cards for you over here. So we'll read each one. So when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Interesting. I feel like this combo has come up before, of sort of, reliving like that nostalgic ambition of like, what we wanted to be when we were younger. And perhaps you're doing that now, which would be awesome, right? But if not, in particular, like what creative avenues did you enjoy doing as a kid that you maybe haven't made the time to do now? Okay. And then the other question is there something that you've dreamt of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it? And so again, I feel like that falls into that same category of, thinking back to something creative that maybe you enjoy doing, but you just maybe haven't, made the time to do it. Okay. All right. And the other reflection card is, do intentions matter more or less than actions? And what I'm feeling for this in relationship to like the creating art, sometimes we have these like big goals and ambitions of like, what we're going to do, and like having this intention of like, doing something very productive, but then in actuality, we really don't get to do it because of time, because of resources, whatever the case may be. And so, what I'm feeling is that this might be an opportunity to really reflect on like, how much your intentions are connected to your actions, and whether or not, there's an opportunity for reassessment there. And then the last question is, when is it okay to be completely honest? Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm going to leave that up to you to answer, because I feel like that can go in many different ways. All right, so let's see. What is your affirmation card for this reading? Pile number 1. I feel like this card over here is speaking to me. So let's see. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. I like that. So, if you notice something about others, that, they're doing well, something that you admire, tell them about it. Give people their flowers while they're here, right? And so that is the overall message for you. If you notice something good, say something about it. And I feel that will make you feel better, but that would make you feel good, but it would also make the person that you're acknowledging feel good as well. And so who doesn't want to feel good, right? And so that is your reading, pile number 1. And if this resonated with you, please be sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. All right. And so next up, we will have pile number 2. Okay, welcome in pile number 2. This is your reading. So let's start with our self-care cards over here. And so the first one is pleasure. Okay, so doing something that pleases you. That could be some physical pleasure or just emotional pleasure. Just doing something that sort of speaks to your heart is what I'm feeling here. All right, next we have aromatherapy. All right, yes, just sort of getting in the mood. I'm also getting like using certain scents, aromas to sort of be uplifting. Like I know there are a few uplifting ones that I am not able to think of at this moment. But when I do, I'll be sure to put them in the description box to share with you. Because like I had like a kit and it explained what the different scents were, and gave some suggestions on ones that were uplifting, ones that sort of created more like happy feelings. I just can't remember what they are right now. And so I will be sure to list those in the description box. But either way, big tangent. Either way, doing so, surrounding yourself with that, maybe with like a oil diffuser or something along those lines, just to, sort of change the energy in the air. Okay. All right. And the third card is meditate. All right. And so I feel like the aromatherapy could, be used for either of these, whether it is, to do so to like stimulate some pleasureful feelings, or to, help with the grounding you during a meditation. Either way, I think it's very fitting, being here in the middle. But overall, I'm feeling a need to just do something for yourself, like actually doing some self-care. Like, not to sound cliche or anything, given what this reading is about, but what I'm feeling for you, pile number 2, is that you really haven't been doing the best at taking care of yourself, taking care of your needs, making sure that you're satisfied with how things are going, maybe because you're so focused on others, which is totally understandable, but just know that you can't put your own needs off for too long, because eventually, you can be cranky or resentful or just in a really bad mood because, you haven't been taking care of yourself. And so for you, pile number 2, definitely make that a priority. And, part of it could be just spending some time, again, doing something that pleases you, but also making sure you set the time to like do some meditating, do some reflecting, just checking in with yourself mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Okay, so that is what I'm feeling for you. And then I think the aromatherapy will help to set the mood there. All right, so let's see what your reflection prompts are for this reading. So when was the last time you tried something new? Oh, that's a good one. When was the last time you tried something new? How did that feel? What did you enjoy about it? What did you not enjoy about it? Definitely an interesting question to reflect upon. Which feels worse, failing or not trying? Oh, that's another good one. And perhaps some of you are in this predicament where you want to try something, but you're afraid of, what will happen, afraid of how things will turn out. But, would it be better to not try it at all and, have the satisfaction of like, well, I didn't fail, or failing and being like, well, at least I gave it a try. I feel like it's totally up to you there, but definitely something to think about. Okay, the next prompt. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality, what would it be? Is this quality something that could maybe help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do, or whatever you're contemplating? Perhaps. All right, last but not least, do you have any regrets? It's funny, like there's some interesting, there's an interesting connection between these two cards. And so again, I feel like this could be something that you are dealing with at the moment, where you're just feeling unsure of yourself, or feeling unsure about, some decisions that have to be made. And the best way to make those decisions, to come to a place of clarity to proceed, in order to do so, in order to get to that point, you need to take some time for yourself and connect with your body, and connect with spirit, and connect with your spirit, through meditation, just sort of doing something to go within. And I feel like that will help you with whatever you may be contemplating at this point. Okay. All right. So let's do one of these affirmation cards over here. All right. Compassion is my compass. I am willing to hold space for the experience of others. Interesting. Okay. So, perhaps, some of you may be sort of feeling like I'm feeling a sense of responsibility to hold space for others. And it's great that you're able to do so. Just making sure that you're doing so from a place of compassion and not a place from obligation. And, if it is coming from that place of feeling obligated to do so, then I feel like that's another telltale sign that you need to, take some time for yourself. Okay. So that is your reading, pile number 2. I hope that it resonated with you. And if so, please be sure to like this video and share it with others. All right. So next up, we have pile number 3. All right. Last but certainly not least, we have pile number 3. Welcome in for your reading. So let's see what the self-care cards have to say. Okay. So the first one up is connect with crystals. Interesting. And I'm definitely getting some rose quartz vibes from this. And so if you have rose quartz, maybe doing some meditating with it, or just carrying it with you, if you have it in a bracelet form or on a necklace, definitely feeling like that would be very helpful to you at this time. Okay. All right, spend time with animals. Oh, I love that. So if you have an animal, like if you have a pet, definitely spending a little extra time with it would be good for you, just sort of good for the soul, is what I'm hearing. And if you don't, maybe spending some time at a shelter or, connecting with someone else's pet is something that would be very helpful to you right now if you don't have your own. And, if that's not feasible, then maybe just walking around in nature and connecting with the birds or other, animals that are non-threatening. Given the time of year it is, I don't know if rabbits are still out. But either way, just sort of connecting with some non-threatening animals would be very, very soothing to the soul for you. Okay. And then the last card is journal. Interesting. I'd say journal about your experience, journal about your feelings. Perhaps that's something that you haven't done in a long time. And so that's something that will definitely serve you at this time. And if you're really not sure about, what you should journal about, I have these lovely prompts over here that can, easily give you some direction. Okay. So let's see what they are. So the first one is, describe a time you thought your parents were 100% wrong, but eventually learned they were kind of right. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Sort of thinking about those adolescent days of, just sort of being defiant. And, this is certainly not the case for every adolescent, but I'd say it's most common in that, 12 to, let's say, 22, adult age of just being defiant and knowing what's best. And then eventually coming to the realization of like, oh, maybe I really didn't know the best at the time. It's all part of the learning, growing process, right? Growing pains. So yes, that would be an interesting prompt to sort of journal about, especially if something happened recently. Just sort of using it as a reflective moment of like, okay, I could have handled this a little bit better. And, I'm happy that they shared this perspective with me, even though I didn't think they were right at the time. Just however that fits for you. Okay. So the other question is, if you could change anything about your childhood, what would it be? Another interesting one. And for some reason, like I'm being drawn to the spending time with animals card with this particular prompt. And so for some of you, if you had a pet or if you, deeply desired a pet, perhaps that's something that would be helpful for you to sort of think about. Because if, you wanted a pet when you were younger and then you never had the chance to get one, maybe it's time to sort of revisit that dream of yours and seeing if, you can make that a reality. Okay. All right. So the next card, what are your best habits? That's another really great reflective activity. Just sort of seeing like, what are the things that are serving you? What are the things that you do well that, you recognize as a benefit? And then on the flip side, what are your worst habits? And so, using that as an opportunity to see like, what are the things that are not serving you? What can you change for the better to sort of help yourself, improve your quality of life? And so very, very interesting journal prompts for you, pile number 3. I hope that one of these were helpful. Okay, and so let's see for your self-care card, this card right here in the middle. Nope, not that one. This one is speaking to me. So let's see. I bring peace with me wherever I go. I love that. So just bringing that peaceful, calm energy wherever you go. Maybe selecting some crystals that can help with maintaining or installing like that peaceful vibe. And I can't think of any right now off the top of my head, but if I do, I will be sure to put them in the description box. And then also just finding peace with animals, or just maintaining a peaceful vibe when you're engaging with animals, because they pick up on that. And so it's definitely something to be mindful of. Okay, pile number 3. And so that is your reading. I hope that one of these messages resonated with you. And if so, please be sure to like and share this video with others. Okay. All right, so that wraps up this weekend remedy video. I hope that one of these lovely readings resonated with you. And if so, please be sure to share this video and like it, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And one quick thing I will mention, so starting this week, so actually tomorrow, Sunday, I will be posting individual week ahead messages for each zodiac sign. And so that's something that I'm going to try to do either every week or every other week, but something that you can anticipate starting tomorrow. So make sure you check those out, okay? All right, so with that said, thank you for watching and have a beautiful weekend. See ya.